Well, hello enemies and book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. This video is for my July TBR. I am extremely excited because again, my favorite thing to film. One thing to note, yes, I have acne again. I'm so tired of it. Last month I had it exactly when I did my TBR game, and again, it's happening again. My hormones hate me, so apologies, I can't really do much about it. I just have to ignore it, but it is very annoying. I know, it's annoying me too. We're gonna move on to my TBR portion of the video now and talk about that. I also made a few changes, actually only one change, but I'm afraid I might regret it. We'll see what that is in a second. So as always, I'm gonna do my TBR board game, which is always a fun time. I made it myself and I love it. It's so much fun. I love doing this every single month. It is my highlight of the month. And last month I made a spinner wheel. We had a free space, which is like safe space, only 5 rolls. We have a one where I get to re-roll if I want to, and then adding a roll, which is a 6th roll. So this is already cursed. Last month I added a roll, so we'll see what ends up happening. There's a decent chance, like good stuff will happen. There's like a 25% chance of bad, and 75% chance of good, something like that. So it should technically work for me, but for some reason it just hates me. So I made this myself, it's my own fault. So for my TBR board game, I usually end up taking these little areas in the center, these little curved paths. I call them the highways. This is the main road on the outside and these are the highways. So I always take the highways because those are the easier prompts for me. I don't really read the genres in between. I read illustrated, but I don't really read sci-fi, mystery, horror, thriller. So I always usually skip those areas. So I decided to do something that make it a little bit trickier for myself and, you know, go outside my comfort zone. And that is going to be using pylons. We have little pylons here. We will have roadblocks. So I will have myself blocking the highways so that I cannot use them anymore. And I have only the main road to take. The way I'm going to be using these is I'm going to put it on the spinner wheel. So I'm going to spin the spinner wheel. It'll choose a random spot and that will have a pylon spot. And if I roll on the same spot again, which is unlikely, what an 8 chance, it will mean that I have to have a roadblock. So only one spot. If I never land on it, I'll do maybe 2. But for now, 1 spot is enough because I don't really read those genres and I like to have those prompts for myself. So for the time being, just 1 spot. With that, I'm finally going to move on to my actual board game and play that. But first, let's spin the wheel. So I will spin the wheel to determine where the pylon goes and then spin one more time to determine what spot I actually end up on. So let's cut to me doing that now. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel to see where I'm going to be adding my little roadblock. So if I land on that space, I'm going to get roadblocked. So let's see what I end up getting for this one. I hope it's a safe space because I don't want to be having add a roll with a roadblock. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. The roadblock is going on the blue safe space. So right there. So if I land on that one more time, I have to do it with a roadblock. So let's see what I end up getting. Let's do an actual spin and see what I end up actually getting. Oh no. No. That is so bad. That's like a 1 in 8 chance. How are the chances? My game is becoming cursed. This wheel hates me. Well, I guess we're gonna be playing with a roadblock, but I have to do 5 rolls. So, okay, let's see what I end up getting for July. Well, that was great. That was something. That was a decision I made, and I don't know if I hate myself for this. I think I might hate myself for doing this. I just made this. I just made these little pylons. They're so cute, aren't they? They betrayed me. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I now will have to have roadblocks on my highways, which means I have to take only the outer rim of the board. That's why I made the roadblocks, so that way I can land on those and read outside my comfort zone. So it's fine. I read every genre. If you're new here, I read every single genre. Although mystery, thrillers, horrors are like the ones I read the least. Sci-fis I also don't really read very often. So I'm a little bit nervous, but hey, maybe this will mean I'll read outside my comfort zone. And I only have 5 rolls, so that's not too bad. With that being said, I will go with my TBR board game, but first let me talk about the books I did not read in June. I only have 1 book, which is very surprising, and it shouldn't take me too long because it's not too big, and that is Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. I just finished Words of Radiance less than a week ago, and so I never really got around to this. I don't want to rush into it because I kind of just finished Words of Radiance, and I kind of need a break from Stormlight Archive, but once I take a little bit of a break, maybe another week or so, I will read this, do a tiny reading vlog, very short, probably like 20-30 minutes max. And yeah, so this is really small. It's under 300 pages. So yeah, this will be really easy and fast to get through, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, this is the only book I have from my June TBR that I know of. I still have a week left of the month, so maybe I'll have more read, but I actually did a pretty good job reading my books in June and had a few DNFs, so I don't have to worry about bringing as many into July. And of course, I'm also going to be continuing the Black Butler series. I'm on volume 29. I think I only read 2 volumes in June, but I'm on volume 29. I only have 6 volumes left until I finish, or at least catch up to the series, and I'm very much excited about that. I want to catch up and, you know, see what's happening. The last few volumes have been amazing, so far my favorite in the series, so I'm hoping it will continue to go up from here. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm still liking it as of now. I didn't love it in the beginning. Now I'm having a better time with it, so hopefully it stays good for me, fingers crossed, and I will enjoy the rest of the series. Okay, and with that, let's finally move on to my TBR portion of the video, or my TBR game portion of the video, and see what I have for that. So let's get into our first roll out of 5 and see what I end up getting for my first book. So we have 5 rolls to make, but I'm currently on the highway and I need to get back onto the main road. So I will be closed off from this area once I get past it. But for now, I need to get out of this area so I can get into the other sections around the outside of the board. I'm a little bit scared. I hope I roll some low rolls. I might be able to actually evade the genres I don't usually read. So let's see what I end up getting. Let's do our first roll. First roll? Oh no, an 8. This is bad. I'm already going into the direction I do not want to go in. Which is, well, it's only one direction. But I mean, like, I'm rolling high. I wanted to roll low. Oh no. These are my boyfriend's dice. I might be jinxing myself using someone else's dice. So that's all I have to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scratch off card. Actually, this could be reasonable. Let's go and see what I'm going to be getting for that. For my scratch off card, I actually want to do one of these. I'm literally closing my eyes. I promise you guys, I am not looking. The one that dropped, I'll be using. What is that? The yellow one. All right, let's scratch out the yellow card and see what it's going to be. Here we go. I got my quarter. We are going to see what this is going to be. Let me zoom in. Cool beans. Okay, let's see what I end up getting for this scratch off card. Oh, I already know what this is. This is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so for my first roll, I got scratch off. I love doing my scratch off game, and I am curious about the one I got for this one. This is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I think I stole this from the Book Mage's channel. She was reading this, and I think she really liked it, and so I wanted to try it out because of her. So that was my influence for this one. I will put her down below. I looked up the synopsis of this book, and it is so vague, so I honestly have no idea what it's really about other than the obvious. I don't know if this was before they became a vampire or while they are a vampire, but it's Interview with a Vampire. It's pretty self-explanatory. I guess I don't have much to say other than what it says on the cover and on the title, but I feel like I've heard mixed things about this book. I've heard very good things or very polarizing opposites, not liking it at all, and so I'm curious where I will be when I stand with this book. I'm always nervous about reading books that other people enjoyed because I feel like sometimes I just don't love the books that other people like. I am a little bit of a critical reader, not intentionally. Just over the years, I've kind of been more picky, which is annoying, but that's just how it is. So I'm really hoping I will like this book because I like vampires. I don't know if I'll like this kind of vampire. I don't really know much about this. I looked up the synopsis. It gave me really nothing. So I'm hoping I will like it. All right, moving now on to our second roll. See what we get for our second choice. Fingers crossed that it's good. So let's go on to that. Moving on to our second roll, and we are in a kind of dangerous area. Nothing really here that I don't want, but like sci-fi. I don't really read sci-fi very often. So we'll see what ends up happening. Oh God, the pylon. I got a 2. Oh no. 1, 2, unwrap a book. I've unwrapped a book every single month for the past 3 months. I'm scared. Okay, let's go into an unwrap a book. For my second roll, I got unwrap a book. I'm actually excited about this, although I'm nervous. I just feel like, one, I don't want to get a big book. I'm still reading, what is it? The book by Ken Follett. I think I'm reading Soul Fall of Giants. I'm planning on reading this for the next few months, so I don't want anything that's too big. Maybe nothing that's over 400 pages. I'm going to probably be choosing 2 numbers this month because I don't really want a big book. So I'll choose 2 numbers, and then I won't look at what the book is. I'll unwrap the smaller one of the 2, or at least the one I find myself interested in. So I'll choose 2 options and I'll only unwrap 1. So let me put the camera up and then come back down to do the rest of the video. So yeah, I'll actually stand you up so you can actually see the numbers this time. So let's go and do that. Let's shift up. Whoop. Hi, I'm here now. I'm standing up. Isn't this fun? Let's go into my unwrapped books. These are all the books left I have to unwrap. All these, and you can't really see the other ones. And a single one over here, if you can see it. There's around 30 books on my shelf that I can choose from. Well, I'm not choosing it, but you know what I mean. There's at least 30 books or so that I can get. So let's just choose the 2 numbers and see which one I get. So I'm not going to touch my strawberry. That sounds really weird out of context. Essentially, last time I touched this, I got a really big book. So I'm not touching it this time. It's cursed. It's a cursed strawberry. So yeah, it's a little stone strawberry I painted. I think it was me or my aunt, I don't remember who, but this is like a thing I painted a long time ago or someone painted a long time ago, and I'm not touching it, it's cursed. So, I think I might take that one. Oh, okay, I'll pick that one then. First number is this one. Anything that's touching the strawberry, I'm not choosing. So this was at the end, so I'll choose this number, and I'll also choose this number, whatever this is. Let's choose the first one that fell down. Again, I'm only choosing one of these 2, whatever one's smaller probably. I will show you the first number first. This is number 27, pretty high book actually. What is that? Okay, this is the one that's very shiny, so I do apologize if you get blinded by this. It is right here. Oh, it's actually very small. Hey, 27 is actually a pretty small book. This isn't too bad. This is the number that fell down, so hey, fate might have decided for me to choose this one. But this is the first option. Let's move on to the second number, and then we'll see which one I want to choose from there. Also, this is a softcover, this is a paperback, which is interesting. This means it's not a book box book. So I'm very curious as to what one this will be. Now we're gonna move on to the second number, so let me show you first. Okay, this is a 6. I know it looks like a 9 or a 6. I write my 9s with a straight line and my 6 with a curved line. So this is a 6, by the way. So number 6 is, oh no, it's a big book. I don't know about this one, guys. All right, I have to move my men out of the way. Well, I know what I'm not gonna be choosing. 6. This is too much. I mean, it's not as bad as 5. 5 is this one. That's bad. This one though is a bit too much for me. I don't think I want this right now. I think I'm gonna put this one away. I think I'm gonna go with 27 because this is just, it's much. It's much. I already have a decent amount of books on my TBR for July. Don't want to add another one. So let's move on and put this one back because I don't need this one right now. The worst part is putting the number 6 back just makes it mean that like there's a higher chance of me getting bigger books later. So yeah, I have a lot of giant books here because I just try not to choose them, and now it's gonna make it harder for me later on. That's a later problem though. Let's worry about that another time. I'm brain farting. What was I gonna say? Ones that have the shiny paper, I have had the longest. So this is probably like over 2 years ago I wrote these books, so I forget a lot of them, if not all of them. So let me unwrap it before I start to guess, because I don't think I even know what this is. But I'll show you first. I won't look. I'll show you first, and then I will look at it myself. It's very reflective. I do have brown paper. I have some in the brown paper behind me, but I do not want to waste all this paper and rewrap them. It just feels like a waste. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use as much as I can, use up these ones, and then replace it with the brown paper. Again, it's very annoying, but hey, I'm not going to cause a bunch of waste for no reason, so we're going to just have to deal with it. All right, let's unwrap the book. I will show you first, and then let's see what it is. Really weird texture to it. It's like matte, but let me see what this is. In this climate, in this current climate, oh my god. Okay, despite the fact that this looks so small, this has 530 pages in it. It looks so small. This is 500 pages. Are you kidding me right now? Well then, I am going to be reading The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. What in the world? That is insane. I'm a bit afraid. I know this book is very hard-hitting. I've heard about what happens in this book, so I am aware, and I'm a bit scared I'm not going to be ready for it. Also, I am reading a pretty decent amount of fantasy books, although not in this month, but like in general. I still have to continue Robin Hobb. I still need to finish, obviously, Dormant Archive, and now I have R.F. Kuang. I actually never have read from them before, so I'm hoping I will like their work. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't really want to read what this is about. I do know it kind of has like historical elements to, I think, historical China. I think I might be wrong. And so there are a lot of darker topics in regards to what happened there during the war and what happened to women in that situation. And I believe that happens with the main character. Dark topics in this, things again that have historical relevance to our past. And so I'm very nervous about this one, but I've heard amazing, amazing things, and I'm just hoping I will enjoy it. I cannot believe I got The Poppy War. Oh my god, I forgot I even owned the first book of this physically. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm deeply afraid, but it's fine. It's okay, I think. I'm hoping. If I don't get to this month, I promise I'll get to it in August. I do want to really get to the series so badly. I've been putting it off for so long, and it's a trilogy, so it shouldn't take me too long to get to them. But again, very wary and nervous about this, but I am going to try to get to it in July because I really want to try it because I've been wanting to for so long. I've heard such amazing, beautiful things about this book, tragic things about it, so I want to try it and give it a shot. So my second book for this TBR is The Poppy War. So let's now move on to my third roll. A 3? No. 1, 2, 3. Sci-fi. It's fine. Third roll of sci-fi. Let's see what I end up getting for this one. So for my third roll, I got sci-fi. I was a little bit nervous about this. Honestly, I could have just taken the easy route and just went with The Expanse series by James A. Corey. I've been reading it over the past, I think, year and a half now, and I want to continue it, but that's like the only sci-fi series I'm reading right now, and I kind of want to do something else. I also had to do something else because of another reason, and that is the Adventures in Aldia prompt. The Adventures of Eldia is done by Book Roast on G's channel, and every single month you have a different prompt according to where you want to go on the map. My character is an Eltarian, he lives in Dark Meadow, and he's going to be traversing back to Dark Meadow. And so because of that, I have to do the prompt for that path, and that is the 8B path. The 8B path for me is having the word light in the title. So as long as the word light is in the title, I have to choose at least one book with that. And it kind of was a little bit difficult for me. I think I only had 5 options, but I decided on one that I was most interested in. And this also works perfectly for this prompt as sci-fi. So it kind of works out for me, I guess. And that is Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, or Rika Aoki. This is a book I've had on my want to read list for a pretty long time now, probably a few years now, and I'm very interested in it. There was a lot of books that had light in the title, so this was one that was one of the few options, and I decided to choose this one. Okay, I'll be honest, I will read the inside of this because I don't really know what the heck it's about. I read it in the synopsis on Goodreads. I cannot tell you for the life of me what it was about. All I know is it's queer, I think it has a trans character, there's donuts, there's aliens. I don't understand what's going on. There's a fish on the cover. I don't know what that means. Shizuka made a deal with the devil. She must entice 7 other violin prodigies to trade their souls for success. She has already delivered 6. I believe that she is going to her 7th now, and I believe that she might have a relationship with them. I read it a second time, and I'm still confused as to what's going on. Maybe that's for the best. All I know is really is that it's about a character who wants to take souls because she made a deal with the demon, and now she is falling in love with someone potentially, and there's a transgender runaway character, which I really love to see transgender characters. This is the 3rd one I've read in the past month and a half, which is great, so I'm happy with that. And so yeah, I'm going to try this, give it a shot, see if I like it. I like going my books blind, so in a way this kind of benefits me. With only 2 books left, let's move on to my 4th roll. 4th roll is a 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kindle. Let's get to a Kindle or an ebook and see what this is going to be. Okay, for my 4th roll, I actually have an interesting one for this one. I actually didn't really know what to read for this, although I had a perfect option because I want to do a video project where I read authors again, so give second chances to authors of books I didn't either like as much as I thought I would, DNF prior, etc, etc. So I have 4 books I want to get to, 2 in July and 2 in August, and then have my video up in August. And one of those books is from a author I've read romance from. It was a very adult romance book, and I liked it. I think they've also done YA before, and I wanted to try something else from their works. Except for this time, I actually won't be reading a adult romance. I'm actually going to try something a little bit different, a fantasy from this author. And that is Call of the Dragon by Jasmine Walt. This is a KU series, and I believe there's either 4 or 5 books in the series. This is obviously a Dragon Rider series, and I haven't read a lot of Dragon Rider books. I've only read, I think, maybe 2 series. It was the Inheritance Cycle, and that actually might be it. I don't know. Really? Okay, maybe that's it. I think I've only ever read 1 then. Their Inheritance Cycle, which is pretty good. I actually like that series. It's right next to me to the left. This is my boyfriend's books, but obviously I like them and I read them all except for Murtagh. I still have to get to Murtagh, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, I've never really read any other series other than the Inheritance Cycle that has dragon writing in it. And so I'm really interested in this one. It sounds kind of interesting, so I'm gonna try it. I think it is also YA, so it shouldn't be, you know, too raunchy, thankfully, because maybe I just don't like this type of book from this author. I'm curious about like her fantasy books, so I am curious. We're following the protagonist in the story. She is an orphan and she is living on the streets. She finds herself in a situation where she is in an extreme amount of debt, and in order to pay that off, she goes into a dragon rider's place and she goes to steal something from them, an artifact, something of value. But what she steals instead is actually a dragon egg, and it's close to hatching. As you can see by the cover, I'm assuming she probably will become a dragon rider herself. That's all I really need to know about this book. I find myself curious. I do like the covers a lot. I think they're really pretty. And so again, I'm gonna give Jasmine Walt another shot, another try, because I do want to try another one of her works. I think I will like them. I definitely think that she has a chance of really warming up to me, and maybe I'll like her other works. I did like the first book I read. I'll show it here. It's like a dragon shifter romance, Why Choose? It wasn't bad. The first book wasn't bad. They were also all brothers, just to let you know. I don't know if they were like all blood related. They all had different hair colors and stuff, so I'm not entirely sure. I think they were at least half brothers, if not full brothers. Regardless, that was interesting. I DNF'd book 2 and I didn't go back to it. But the first book I kind of like. I give it a 4. Just didn't like the second one. Maybe with Call of the Dragon, I will like this work and I'll give it another try. It only has 3,300 ratings on Goodreads. So hey, I don't know if it will be well received on my end. It has a 4-point-something rating on Goodreads right now. So it's pretty decent so far, and so I might like it. I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I do. I will have a reading vlog on this book in August along with 3 other books, and so if you're looking forward to that, I will have it there. Okay, moving on to my 5th and final roll. Fingers crossed this goes well. Please don't get a 4 or 5. 2. Okay. 1, 2. Continue a series. This is probably the best outcome. So continuing a series. Okay, we did good, we did good. The fifth role is continue a series. Read another part of my series that I'm currently in the middle of. I think I'm in the middle of like 11 or 12. I've only ever started one series this year that I actually continued, which is really bad. That means there's not a lot of series I'm actually enjoying, which is not great. So hopefully that changes a little bit. I know I shouldn't be complaining about, you know, not starting series. I just want to enjoy the series I'm reading, and it feels like I'm not. So I'm hoping that does change somehow this year. That being said though, I'm not mad about the fact that I am reducing my amount of series because I really want to. And in doing so, actually technically this is starting a series. Technically this is starting a series, but it is in the reading order, so I decided to continue it. So wait, is this cheating? But it says series. It doesn't mean I have to continue it. It could be starting a series, it could be finishing a series. It's kind of broad. It says just series on the title. For this is kind of continuing / starting a series. It's kind of between both. And that's A Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Hi, editing me here. The moment I said the word ember, my brain went to Ember and the Ashes. No clue why. I'm trying to say From Blood and Ash. From Blood and Ash series works alongside this series, so I so apologize for saying An Ember and the Ashes the entire time. So just letting you know, I meant to say From Blood and Ash, not An Ember and the Ashes. This is a different series that kind of follows alongside, I think, Ember and the Ashes, so it kind of can be read. It's technically read on its own, but I think maybe there's things that tie together. I'm not entirely sure. It just says to read alongside Ember and the Ashes in a certain order, and so I have to read this next in order to continue the rest of the Ember and the Ashes series. I'm not exactly sure if there is any tie-ins. All I know is that it's recommended to read this next, so that's what I'm going to be doing. This is following two new characters in a romantic fantasy, or romantasy, whatever you want to call it, and the main character, the female main character, is a maiden. I don't know if she's the exact same as Poppy or if she's like a lesser version of a maiden, but she's a maiden and she has to get close to the something of death, like the primal of death, which it sounds interesting to me. I love that kind of concept. I'll be honest with you. It's a little cliche, but I kind of love it. And she has to get close to him. She wants to gain his trust, you know, get close, build a relationship so that she can assassinate him, because she is actually an assassin. And honestly, I love that too. Is it overused? Maybe. I feel like this is a little bit like romantic cliche, but I'm not extremely mad about it. I feel like I haven't read a book like this in a long time, and it makes me really want to get into it again. I want to know if I will like this more than the last book, Crown of Gilded Bones. I didn't love Crown of Gilded Bones, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this one a little bit more, because it's following two new characters, or at least two different characters. I'm interested to see if I will like them as much, or if not more, than Hawk and Poppy. I don't know if these two characters are from the series. I don't even know who they are. Like I read the synopsis and I was like, who is this female character? I don't know who she is. I'll be honest though, I don't really remember a lot of the characters from Blood and Ash series. I only remember the main characters. So if these are characters from the main series, I have no clue. Unless it tells me. It might actually tell me. That would be nice. But yes, I'm going to try to continue this. Again, this is technically starting a series, but it does tie in to the From Blood and Ash series. I think they say to read this next, so I'm going to read this next. So yes, this is starting a series, but I'm not mad about it because I really want to read another series I enjoy. I just need to do it. Starlight Archive is the only series I actually started this year that I'm actually continuing. Out of the entire year so far, there's been 6 months now, and I've only continued one that I've started this year. Again, not the worst problem, but I still want to like the series I read. So hopefully that means I will continue this one and like this one. I don't know if I will. I hope for the best that I actually will. So that is all for my TBR board game, but I still have, I think, 2 or 3 books left. I think 2 more books on this list I want to add. So let's go into those 2 books really quickly. The first one is already one I already started. I might be able to finish this in June. If you see this in my June wrap up, you'll see that I actually finished it this month. Because I'm not entirely sure, I'm going to add it here because this was not intentionally put on my June TBR. So I'm going to put my July TBR in case I end up finishing it in July. And that is Caught Up by Nevessa Ellen. This is the second book from Lights Out. We're following 2 different characters. This time it'll be Nico, or Junior as he's usually called in the book, and Lo. For this one, it's not like that different. I think I've already almost finished half the book in like 2 days because I have it on audiobook. In this story, Lo is actually a, how do I put it? She makes content online for people. Just, you know, like explicit content online for people. And Junior is one of the people that watched this. He's actually the first one that subscribed and signed up and started watching her content. And it's very positive with this regard. There's a lot of stuff positivity, and it's very positive in that dynamic, and I actually don't mind it myself. It's actually really cool to see in a book. Junior also rides a motorcycle, hence the helmet on the cover. And of course she likes masks, of course she does. And I think in this book there are also cameos from the characters in Lights Out. So we see the main couple Lights Out in this as well. I think there's like cousins. Regardless, cute. It's fun. It's easy. It's simple. And I'm listening to audiobook because my library has it available. So I am going to do that and have fun with it because it's a fun time, okay? It's a fun time. And my last one is one that I added to my TBR for my giving an author a second chance video, because the first time I read this author, I gave the book 3 stars. and that is Emily Henry. I read Happy Place by Emily Henry. I think it was either early this year. I think it was early this year. I give it 3 stars. I didn't love it, okay? It wasn't the best thing I've ever read. I read a lot of romance and it just felt okay to me. I don't know. It wasn't something that really stood out to me. I didn't love the characters. But I wanted to give Emily Henry another shot. She is well beloved. A lot of romance readers love her work, and I love romance. I really do, and I'm getting back into contemporary. So I'm just hoping maybe I'll like other works from her. And I had 2 contenders. Book Lovers was an option. I decided to not choose that one, and instead I decided to choose Funny Story. I'm a little bit scared about this one. This was so well talked about, so loved, and it's making me a little bit nervous to try it, because if I don't love it, I'm gonna feel like an imposter. I'm sure there's other people that don't like Emily Henry's work, but it feels like the vast majority of people do. And so if I don't like this one, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous, but hey, there's a chance. This story is following a protagonist named Daphne. Daphne has a fiance, they're in love, they're happy, until her fiance ends up going with another woman and their relationship suddenly breaks off. When Daphne eventually moves out, she needs a new roommate, and lo and behold, her roommate is actually the ex of the fiance's current girlfriend. So technically they traded exes, fiancés. Daphne had a fiance, he left for someone else who also had a fiance, and now he, on her end, is going with Daphne. And so they kind of just swapped fiancés, exes, and so that's kind of what's happening. I think it was just pure coincidence, I think. And so they're roommates. Although it seems like they're kind of trying to avoid one another, but at one point something brings them together and they start to form a relationship. Miles is the male protagonist in this book, and I think that he's like the opposite of Daphne. Maybe he's a lot more recluse and not as, you know, peppy, which I like. Well, I don't know if it's Grumpy Sunshine. I don't know if it is. It kind of sounds like it might be Grumpy Sunshine, or at least like opposites attract. I kind of like that sometimes. So there is a chance. I love forced proximity, and it feels like this is going to be forced proximity, and I am very excited about that because it's one of my favorite tropes. So maybe I'll like this. Like I said, Emily Henry, so well beloved. If I don't like this, I don't know if I'll like anything else from her. So I'll have a reading vlog on reading this, as well as the Dragon Rider book and 2 other books that you'll see for August TBR. So at the end of August, I will have a reading vlog reading all these books, and I am really hoping I will like it because I really want to try and like Emily Henry. We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of like the summery vibe books, so Happy Place was just not really my thing. Having like people drinking and partying, it's not my thing. I've never actually done that in my life, so maybe this book will be more up my alley, and I'm really hoping that is the case. And with that, those are the 8 books I plan on getting to in July. Here is the number. I will put the little graphic as all the books I want to get to, how many pages total that is. It's reasonable. I think that it might be a little bit unreasonable though. I do have 2 other books I plan on getting to very early on in July. If I don't finish them in June, I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of them, but I'm going to try to get to at least the majority of them. I like to at least get to around 75% of my TBR, so if I can get to maybe 6 of these books, that would be pretty good to me. So with that in mind, I'm going to end the video off here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. If you want to leave an emoji down below to see that you were here, leave a summary emoji. I only say that because there's like lemonade, flowers. So leave any kind of summer emoji down below in the comments below, because summer has started. I don't like summer, but you know what? Anyone that likes summer, I am happy for you. You can have it. You can take it. I don't want it. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day. Happy reading in the month of July, and hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.